Hi there, this is a quick tutorial on how to use EBSCO. Remember that you have to research an experiment that is similar to your own for the conclusion of your lab report, and you're going to be using EBSCO to do that. So to get to EBSCO, you want to go to the Clearview homepage and then click on the high school. Once you have the high school page up, you're going to roll over to departments and then select the library. Scroll down a little bit, you'll see information about the library, and then on the left hand side of the page there is a button that says e-collection. You want to click on that, and that's going to bring you to all of the databases that our school pays for you to use for your different classes. They're sorted by subject, but we're going to use the very kind of basic catch-all one, EBSCO. So EBSCO has kind of a little bit of everything, not just specifically science, but a good place for you to start for database using. So if you get to a screen that looks like this, it is probably because you are at home. On the school Wi-Fi, EBSCO automatically signs you in, but if you are at home, you need to enter a username and password. So I have posted the username and password for EBSCO on Google Classroom. Here they are. So the username is Clearview, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight and copy the password. So I'm going to user ID is Clearview, and then I'm going to paste my password in, and that should get me signed into EBSCO. So the only time you have to do that is if you are at home on your home Wi-Fi. If you are at school using it, it should go right to this home page. Okay, so you want to research an experiment that is similar to your own. So for example, I could do pH and seed germination. All right, and then I get this big list of articles and scientific experiments relating to pH and seed germination. If I wanted to kind of narrow my search a little bit, I could go over here to the left-hand side of the page where it has the publication date. Maybe I want something a little more relevant for pH and seed germination, a little more modern. You know what? I'm even going to go 2000. That should narrow down my search a little bit. Not a lot. I went from 152 to 144. That's okay. You could always, make it even more modern or more recent if you wanted to. Also on the side, you have different reading levels that you can pick from. So there's different ways that you could narrow down your search. But these are all the articles that pertain to pH and seed germination. So I can kind of look at these and see if any of them would be relevant to me. A lot of big words on the screen, right? It's really kind of up to you. If something looks like it's going to be way too hard for you to understand, I don't recommend you clicking on it. Let's see, this one looks like it might be good. Factors affecting seed germination and emergence of button grass. Yeah, that might be good. So if I find one that I like, I go ahead and I click on PDF full text, and it will bring up a PDF of the experiment that was done. So this one was done with button grass, and I said this in class, and I recommend this to you as well for home use. You should read the abstract of the scientific experiment, and only the abstract. So the abstract is usually about a paragraph long. It's a summary of the experiment that was done. It tells you what was done, how the data was collected, and what the conclusion was. I wouldn't ask you to go ahead and read all 9 pages of this experiment because, oh my gosh, what is this, right? Big formulas. I wouldn't expect you to be able to synthesize and understand all this information, right? Too much. So we're going to stick to reading the abstract, which is a summary of this experiment that was done. So I read my abstract, and if it makes sense to me and I understand it, I'm going to go ahead and summarize this in my lab report and talk about how this experiment is similar to the one that I did in class. Maybe they did a similar way for data collection. Maybe they set up their seeds in a similar way, or maybe they did it differently and got similar results. Those are all things that you could talk about for that particular section in your lab report. And then you have to cite your source. So the way that you do that is you go down over to the side here on the right, and there's a little button that looks like a page, and if you click the word cite, it's going to give you generate a citation for this particular source. So in science class, we use APA format, which is this one here. So all I would have to do is just highlight it, copy and paste it right into my lab report. All right, that would go on a works cited page at the end of your report. All right, so that's how you use EBSCO. I know it can be a little overwhelming, but I know you can do it. Good luck navigating it, and let me know if you have any questions.